haven't put out a memory unlocked video in a few months. For those who don't know, these are videos where I look at moments in the games I've played that I've really enjoyed and had those moments leave an impact on me. These are often story moments, so these videos can contain spoilers, so proceed with caution. They're also videos that don't tend to do too well on YouTube, but I enjoy doing them anyhow, so I guess take that, stupid algorithm, or maybe it's more of me just self-owning by keeping doing them. But regardless, my memory from today comes from Insomniac's Spider-Man. All of the Insomniac Spider-Man games start out with a memorable and action-packed intro sequence. In the first game of the series, you are introduced to Spider-Man getting ready to join the police in taking down Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin of crime. This is such a memorable start to the game for me. It throws you right into the action, which is an exciting way to jump into things. While the sequence does also serve as the tutorial to the game, it is fairly well integrated into the raid on Fisk's tower. You are taking out thugs and feeling like Spider-Man super quick into the game. This is also memorable in a surprising kind of way. Starting off taking out the Kingpin felt like a weird way to start the game. The Kingpin feels like someone who could easily have been a final boss of the game. It felt like it would have made more sense to play as Spider-Man, like working up, taking out the Kingpin's operation slowly, getting enough evidence to figuring out who the Kingpin really is, and then taking the fight to him at the end of the game. Marvel's Spider-Man doesn't take this route though. Instead, you're introduced to this world by taking out a big figure like the Kingpin right from the start. You're thrown into a world where Spider-Man has been active for some time, and taking out the Kingpin is something that he's been looking forward to doing before we join in on the story. In all honesty, I kind of figured that Fisk would somehow escape and the game would then be focused on bringing him to justice and cutting through all of his men to try to get to him finally. But again, that's not the case. The Kingpin is the first boss of the game and you take him down. He's arrested and so like everyone lives happily ever after, right? Not so much. That's another aspect to what makes this start so memorable for me, how it connects to the later events of the game. Fisk's arrest leaves a massive power vacuum in New York City. He seems to know that this will be the case and gives out a warning as the police take him away. Fisk may have been evil, but he seems to think that it was better to have him in charge of the underworld than someone else who may fill that vacuum. Of course, he's totally not biased at all at this, but the bad thing is he may have been somewhat right about that. After Kingpin's arrest, things start to spiral out of control. A new power rises and starts to exert pressure on the city and even other supervillains like the Shocker. It's interesting to see how your actions against Fisk have a ripple effect that makes for some interesting twists and turns throughout the game. This was just a great way to jump into the game and the series for me. You start off in such an epic battle against Fisk's men, feeling like Spider-Man right from the start. It is no slow start looking at Spider-Man's origins or anything like that. You jump into the web shooters of a Spider-Man who has been active for years already, and getting to play him taking down a big figure like the Kingpin is a super memorable way to start off the game. Of course, it wouldn't be Spider-Man without him cracking jokes throughout it all as well. It's such a well-crafted start to the game that not only left a mark on me, but had me looking forward to seeing what the game had left to show me. If this was just the appetizer, what was going to be served for the main course? The answer to that question doesn't disappoint, but those will be memories to discuss in future videos. For now, I can say that I loved the start of Marvel Spider-Man. It threw you right into the action and had you taking down a surprisingly big villain in the opening fight. It also served as a great tutorial to learn how to play as Spider-Man and had you feeling like Spider-Man in no time as you were kicking butt and making jokes throughout the whole experience. To top it all off, this led to the events of the rest of the game, which made the world feel more interconnected than some tutorial levels do with their games. It was a start like this that made you feel like the game was going to be a great one if the game kept the quality up consistently. That's why taking down the Kingpin was such a memorable moment for me. What about you? Did you enjoy this start to the game? I'd love to hear what your thoughts were about the opening to Marvel Spider-Man in the comments. But that's all for this memory though, so I'll see you in the next video.